Так, всем привет, продолжаем проходить Хогвартс Наследие. Где планы Ранрок?
Let's take a look around, Amit. See if we can find any plans.
Bound to be plans around a schematic. They're building something. I can't quite make it out. Curious. Let me know
Revelio.
if you see any more plans or schematics. We can't return to Lodgok empty-headed. If I'm translating this correctly, and I think that I am, they're building something rather large. But what? I will get to the bottom of what they've been building down here.
You should know better.
Potato! Two-finger!
Обрались, привет.
Potato! Two-finger!
Пропали очень интересно.
Two-finger! Potato!
Easily diverted.
Теория, да?
The
Всегда сказали.
boiler activated that handle.
Stay close. I've handled much worse.
Another boiler. This place is more complex than I had expected.
Revelio.
Печечек.
Another schematic. What are they going to build? This mine is too small for whatever it is. There must be more notes around here. What could they be building?
Accio.
Вспоминание побраться.
Revelio.
I see. Accio should easily engage the handle. Marvelously clever.
Accio. Revelio.
Точно. Точняк.
The wizards will be defeated.
Райхуд.
Clever.
Tricus totalis.
Oh, little moon calf.
Полили,
Far
блядь.
from
Expelliarmus.
Chill spells glance off of me. Rubber up white's coming back in.
I will have my revenge! When he didn't give up! I should have been
You're making this.
Stop! I'm afraid of heights! You are postponing the inevitable!
Better.
Ярик, здоров.
I will make you pray.
Ну, не делись. Согласен. Да, блядь.
I've been fighting them. Stride.
Школа. Понимаю, бывает. Блядь. Чё, вообще сейчас пока не стримишь, да?
How many of them are there?
That should be the last of them, I'll eat.
Все, блядь, какое-то место. Бомба. Хапали. Да все потихоньку. Вот, играем, стримим. Видюху заказал, завтра придет новая видюха. Или сегодня привезти, но не сегодня неудобно.
Accio.
Что-то я не понял. А, блядь, на, здесь не едим.
Yes, of course.
Confringo. Revelio.
Ящик. Да. Не хватает места, ничего не делать. Ладно, сейчас сначала что-нибудь разберем. Ну-ка, что у нас есть? Херня. Что-то разбирать. Можно разобрать. Сейчас. Блядь. Нормас, нормас, неплохо. было? По поводу Алекс. Про что? Про рекламу так? Реклама давно работает. Про рекламу. Ну все. Знаю, все нормально у меня. Может, потому что я свернул игру, тогда вряд ли. Стрима не было. Такого не может быть вообще. Все нормально. Не знаю, что такое. Надо тебе, все нормально. Погоди, короче. Может и YouTube, может в интернете что-то шалить. Вариантов много. У нас нормально с стримом. Пошли дальше.
This is not good. They're building enormous drills, bigger than this mine could contain.
Let's get out of here and tell Lodgott what we found.
Шахты. Два. Мантия, когда что-то упал, да? Мантия нормально упала, да? Она недоступна, 25 левела. Здорово, ладно. Там что, как шляпа? А, шляпа. Кстати, на не открылись нам? Ничего нет. Ничего нет. Шахты.
There must be a quicker way out of here than retracing our steps. Revelio.
А, вот если вот так вот.
Accio.
Что дальше? А, лифт вверх. А конечно, сказал, будет не вечерняя, а ночью. Ночью, говорю, ночью. Знаете, ну вот ночью нет. Я не знаю.
I need a moment to catch my breath. This was more than I bargained for.
I'm glad you came with me, Amit. Now that we know what they're up to, we can get out of here.
Так, подожди, тут не пройти никак. Чё?
Someone here.
А, второй левел. Не прокачали Ахамору, потому что нам нужно принести Никакого, надеюсь, что... Проснулся в 7 утра и заметил. Отлично. Как бы я так просто спарил. Поиграли чисто для себя. Вообще не все, что произойдет. Пусть, блядь.
We're almost out of here, Amit. Look, the lift.
A welcome sight indeed.
Нам наверх, да?
Revelio.
Чуть я с ним, да?
Repulsor.
А, блин, надо.
Accio.
делать?
We'll need to get across this gap somehow.
Значит, придем.
Revelio.
Это мы придем.
Accio. Revelio.
Я попытался. Ищи. Попробуйте, как попасть. Чё, как? Предмет уткнул. Чёрт.
Revelio.
Давай. А, вот ящик. Нет. Масса. Ага, мы пошли на начало. Да, понятно. Что нам сюда не надо вообще. Что нам обратно нужно. Пошли. Обратно ходить сейчас.
Accio.
Шахты. Сами там.
Can we please talk about what just happened?
That wasn't so bad, was it?
It was. It really was. I'm afraid I've had enough adventure for one day. For a lifetime, perhaps.
Thank you, Amit. I couldn't have done it without you. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with Lodgok.
Understood? I'll leave you to it. Your goblin secrets are safe with me, but I get to write the book about this escapade someday. Without further ado, adieu.
They're building enormous drills. We found their plans. Ranrock must be searching for the repositories.
I fear you are correct. Other than Rookwood Castle, however, I do not know where else he plans to search.
I've been wondering about something else you said before we entered the mine.
Yes?
If you share Ranrock's views, then why are you helping me?
I expected Rookwood Castle to be deserted when I arrived to begin my search. So was surprised to find a witch there who'd set up a sort of improvised research site. She was studying something so intently that she almost didn't notice me. When she looked up, I thought she would react with fear or disdain. But instead she did something that I will never forget. Without a moment's hesitation, she smiled and asked me to sit with her. She told me that she was a researcher and showed me a small, oddly shaped container with a strange symbol on it. She was certain it was made of goblin metal, but was unable to open it. She wanted to work together.
Miriam.
Yes. But how did you...
Professor Fig's wife. He told me of her research, and I know of the container.
The reverence with which she talked of goblins and their intelligence and skill, it caught me entirely off guard. I'd never been treated with such respect by a witch or wizard. So, to my surprise, I let her study the container if she would allow me to search the castle on my own. We parted ways, with her promising to share what she'd learned. More of Ranrock's recruits arrived, and we began to dig, eventually locating the first repository. Ranrock was thrilled with our discovery, but furious when I told him about Miriam. Berated me for trusting a witch, and I heard she'd been killed.
You think Ranrock murdered her?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't know. After that, something shifted in me. I had seen how the power from the repositories was transforming Ranrock, transforming all of them. I could no longer remain a part of it.
Thank you, Lodgok, for telling me this.
I tell you all of this so that you understand what is at stake. Ranrock never found all of Bragbor's journals, but the ones he did find suggest that Bragbor at some point built a repository far greater in size than the one beneath Rookwood Castle. What you've discovered here today worries me deeply. If Ranrock learns of the location of that repository, I fear we shall be destined for a great war. I will find out what Ranrock knows. Watch for my owl.
Нам идет побочки, да? Просто какое-то из сюжет заданий все, что ли? Финал, или? Чё, я не понимаю. Да. Так, чё у нас? Так, с чем мы-то сходим до этого? Надо сходить сюда. Чек. берем. Собирали. Вас. Все крестьяне. Шляпы. Нормально. Меня. Очень интересно. Ладно, такая. Работу шайки надо. Не кормить этих зверей, что ли? Будьте с них ресурсы. Так, подожди, не надо. Это сюда. Это сюда. Блин. Давай. Значит, там какие-то же самки сношались, что-то надо до них дойти, то не должен родиться, был кинуш. Мех. Это нам нужно. Ну, еще остался. Так, это вот еще осталось. Язык, блядь. Так, ну-ка, управление тварями наш, да? Логически 4. То есть можно только 4 раза да. А где у нас нюклер? Мы о нем не позаботились. Где у нас нюклер? Шишка. Нюклер. Нюклер. Да, пошел, братан. Стикам. Нельзя, да? Стрелки стал. Не добавить клика. И сейчас мы... Подожди. Вера, жаби бородавки. Это нам тоже нужно читать. Ну, кот надо отпустить, подожди. Надо отпустить. Шушку можно отпустить. Это вот мне два нужны. Вот это можно отпустить на природу. Так, сюда мы добавим кого? Ладно. Страл. Шайка. Ладно, это понятно. Появилась. Бля, какая машина ебать. Сигарет. Раза хита только можно иметь почему-то. Чек.
We should speak with Mr. Bickle's friends. I believe I can sneak away without drawing my mother's eye. Meet me near Hogwarts, and we will devise a plan.
Как день. Чё вы? Сейчас попьет фестральчик. Так, у нас же... А у нас же есть уже. Чем еще одно? Если у нас один, да? У нас один вид. Все фестивалы. Я еще одного делаю, не знаю. А, надо. Тут, короче, надо самку этого. Блядь. Обратно.
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm.
Дальше есть один был. Шайка, так это ладно. С Себастьяном.
Topping it up with what?
Бля, только мы ебать. Понятно. Эту жопу мира, да? Ну, вот сюда перенесем сейчас. Так, сейчас коплю на минутку. Так, ладно, продолжим. Надо где-то. Можно продать все лишнее. Нахрен.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. How can I help you?
What brought you to own a shop in Feldcroft?
Beautiful place, isn't it? Although I admit I didn't choose it. It chose me. I was raised here. It's always been my home. As for the shop, I suppose my line of work chose me as well. I've always loved working with beasts. And my twin girls adore them. Wouldn't be surprised if they took over from me one day.
What do you sell here?
Glad you asked. I sell the finest array of beast byproducts you'll find in the entire countryside. If you don't believe me, feel free to look about. Eventually you'll return. They always do.
I'm curious to know what's happening in Feldcroft. Might you have any insight?
An incredibly unpleasant goblin called Belgroth the Bludgeoner has been tormenting everyone he encounters. Feldcroft borders goblin country, but we've always lived in peace with their kind. Until recently, that is. Some claim that Belgroth and his associates are in league with Ranrock. I don't know if there's truth to it. Whatever the case, their constant meddling is devastating business. Everyone feels unsafe. It's quite serious.
What do you have for sale?
What are we in the market for today?
Так, у него понятно. Сейчас мы продадим ему все. Это не продать, самое первое у нас. Можно здесь нам что-то? Почему не делю? Интересно. Понятно. Я читаю. Ну-ка, только денем сейчас мы.
Have I mentioned you're welcome to stop by any time?
Подожди. Здешний вид. Так, пойдем.
Revelio.
Нет, видно, да? Мне надо какие-то луны искать. Чет. Лун. Далек. Спасибо за далек. Они здесь.
I know what that means. Merlin trial. Revelio.
Столбик. Опять не слишком надо искать. Говорите, братья.
I will make you. Rubber and white's coming back this way.
А, сделайте. Подожди.
Confringo.
А, сломать просто наш.
Revelio.
Я думал, светлячки нас подчинить.
Confringo. Confringo. Revelio.
Там еще.
Confringo. Merlin himself would be proud. Looks rather dark in there.
You're here. Good.
Sebastian, that relic you mentioned,
I believe one of Slytherin's students stumbled upon the relic during an assignment to study sarcophagi in this catacomb. From what I read in a report by the student, they weren't permitted to take it with them, so I must assume it's still here. As I mentioned earlier, this relic grants its holder the power to reverse dark magic curses. If it's in this catacomb, I have to find it. For Anne. I need to see her.
I'd be interested to know what else the student discovered.
Have a look. Unfortunately, there's no name on it, but I suspect if it was important enough for Slytherin to stash in his spellbook, it's worthy of further study.
I'm ready to explore the catacomb. Perhaps we can visit Anne when we've finished.
Perfect. By the way, Ominous has been asking about you. You didn't tell him what we were doing, did you?
I didn't. I promise.
Good. Ominous would be livid if he knew what we were about to do. I'll be interested to compare what lies inside to what I've read about this catacomb. I'm sure that foul smell is the scent of success. Try not to lose your nerve just yet.
Confringo! At least now we know we're not alone here.
Perhaps that was it. And the rest of the tomb will be insect-free.
Yeah, spiders aren't insects.
Don't start.
Accio! Opening all of these is tempting.
We're here for a reason. I'd say opening them all is justified.
Revelio! Confringo! Revelio. Accio. Confringo. Accio.
Now this is the sort of great room I want to be buried in.
Surrounded by grandeur.
Grandeur and then some. Even an altar with a pile of bones. Lovely.
Accio.
Bones outside a sarcophagus. Seems odd. There's something here by the altar.
Levioso, Confringo.
We've rid the world of another spy.
Accio.
I shall sleep better tonight.
Кость. Что с всем делать?
What did you find?
Looks like part of a student's diary. It mentions plans to return for the relic and conjuring barricades using bones.
Of course. The student's summary referenced a space beyond the Great Room, which means this can't be a dead end. Let's divide and conquer. You work on sorting out the bone barricades, I'll look around and see what we missed. Hold on to that diary entry. There may be more to it.
It does mention something else. It says their next assignment was learning the Imperius Curse.
Really? Interesting. We need to focus on moving beyond this room. But let me think for a moment.
Do you think the pages were left here on purpose?
Slytherin mentioned a student who excelled in charms and always carried a satchel stuffed full of notes. They might have been left on purpose, or the student may have simply dropped them.
Of course. I'll start to search for those barricades.
Brilliant. There's more to this than even I imagined. Look, bones stacked oddly on either side of this archway.
Leave no stone unturned. Or in this case, no bone.
Accio.
Кажется, Кость надо сюда. Подожди.
Levioso. Repulso. Levioso.
Так, надо... Подожди.
Accio.
Так, сейчас. Не надо.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Такс.
Repulso. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Revelio.
We've made it this far, but clearly we have more to do.
Accio.
Я ровно знаю, что будет за свет. Так, надо это.
Accio. Lumos.
И чё ты, блядь?
Repulso. Lumos.
Не хочешь спускаться наверх?
Repulso. Repulso. Expelliarmus.
Confringo. Accio. Confringo. Accio.
Ага.
Lumos. Capolso. Lumos. Wingardium Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Leviosa. Confringo. Wingardium Leviosa. Depulso. Accio. Confringo. Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Lumos. Wingardium Leviosa. Lumos.
Блядь. Ага. Подожди.
Rickety Bone
вот
Bridge
мостик,
complete. Lumos.
Можете пройти, отлично. Всё. Привет, Алексиус.
I need to
Без
find a
аккаунта.
safe way across.
Вы полностью на русском, что ли? Я не в курсе. Нет же, русская озвучка. Так.
Depulso.
Я как бы не фанат этой игры вообще, честно говоря. Вышло, пойду и забуду.
Depulso. Accio.
Что дальше у нас? Че, вернусь обратно. Дырочка еще.
Accio. We're in the tomb. I assume eerie sounds come with the territory.
Че,
Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
посмотрим, что надо. Точняк. А, надо и... Понятно. Понял.
Accio.
Положить.
That's a lot of bone metal.
Leviosa. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
Чё? Понял,
Accio. Wingardium Leviosa.
откроется. Оп.
You've done it.
Отлично.
I knew we'd get through. I felt it in my bones.
Nice.
Nice.
The student's diary mentions the Imperious Curse. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need it here. It's an unforgivable, but useful when you're outnumbered. Places the victim completely under the caster's control. So, if you'd like to learn Imperio, I can teach you.
Shouldn't I know more about what the curse entails?
Remember the blasting curse? Same idea, except when it comes to unforgivable curses, your intention has to be clear. You have to mean it.
Where did you learn the Imperious Curse?
I taught myself. Don't tell Ominous that I've told you. It's not exactly something I can brag about, but it may come in handy. I think you ought to know it.
It's probably wise to know the spell.
I couldn't agree more. A spell that could save your life shouldn't be unforgivable. You have a lot at stake. You have an ability that evidently no one's seen for centuries. Focus your wand movement. It's not an easy spell to master.
Хера тут вас заклинает-ми придумал. Дерево.
There we go. Something troubling ahead. Be on your guard.
Да и так бабушку проходить. Давай-ка попробуем новое заклинание. Где оно? Вот это вот, да? Давай-ка. Там сюда. Можно прокачать, наверное.
Revelio.
Блять, в этом пауков. Так. Хорошо. Ну все. Раз. Вот. Я, конечно. Надо было отменщика поставить. Сейчас вот так поставим.
Incendio. Imperio.
Never knew spiders could make such a mess.
Bit dramatic, isn't it? Incendio. Revelio. Confringo. Depulso. Accio.
Паучки опять. Так,
Revelio.
This catacomb has suffered decay, just as the student's summary described.
I doubt anyone's been here in quite some time. Revelio. Incendio.
Давай. Так, туда-сюда.
Depulso.
Another barricade. Considering how well we did on the last one, this should be a cinch.
Accio. How gracious of you.
I tried. That worked. Keep going.
Так, подожди, что-то не того. Так. А, вот сюда опять кости надо собирать, что ли?
Guardian Leviosa.
Опять кости собирать. Время.
Accio. Guardian Leviosa.
Нравится? Подожди, что надо делать еще?
Accio.
Подерни.
Accio.
This looks different than what we faced before. Now we're also dealing with rune symbols.
Так, подожди.
Accio.
Дергай, блин.
Revelio.
Надо мудиться. Подожди.
Lumos.
Lumos.
Видим. Очень. Так, а все знаки активны.
Depulso. Accio.
Только те, которые горят. Блять, не хочет победить. Значит, неправильный порядок. Сразу. Так, неправильный порядок. Так.
Accio.
Appears some of these stone tablets have 2 rune symbols. That has to mean something.
Я понял, что правильный порядок. Подожди. Так. А вот Вот еще кости нашли, подожди. Еще кости. А что там не порядок? Все открылось.
You are head and shoulders
Всё
above
открылось.
these bones. Nicely
Я думал,
done.
надо что-то тут с рунами мудить, а просто надо было кости найти. Открылись. Всё. Пошли дальше.
I see why Slytherin's student was so entranced with this place.
Ой, еще что-то идет. Ой, опять волк. Нечего.
For a moment there, I thought that'd never end. Incendio!
Dead end. Lovely. All that for nothing.
Hold on, don't give up yet. Accio!
Темная жертва, не трогайте лика, пока мы не узнаем больше.
Sebastian! The relic! Look! Could it be? The note and rendition of the relic. It matches. This must be where the student left the relic.
I can't believe it. After all this, it lines up. We've really found it.
What do you suppose is meant by the dark sacrifice required to realize the relic's potential?
I have no idea. But we're here for the relic.
Не менее, мы спасли, но мы пришли за реликой, за центровой реликой. Блять. Вперед. Так ответим.
The note advises to leave the relic alone.
I assure you, we were meant to find this. For Anne's sake. I'm taking it. Let's get to Feldcroft.
Сам ответ, ну и бери.
I must keep this relic secret. Especially from my uncle. Is that ominous? Ominous. The sounds we kept hearing. It was you.
You gave me no choice. I had to follow you. Sebastian, please, leave the relic alone. We can find another way to help Anne.
I'm sorry, Ominous, but I'm taking it.
No, you're not. If you won't put it back, then I will.
Hold on, both of you. Sebastian, please, take a step back.
Fine, but Ominous knows I won't step back from a fight.
Can't believe this.
How much did you hear?
Everything. I was glad to hear you tell Sebastian to leave the relic. We need to stand together. Convince Sebastian this is wrong.
And if nothing will change his mind?
Something has to. I need your help.
You're right. This seems far riskier than Sebastian realizes.
Good. We're agreed. We don't allow him to leave here with the relic.
I do think we should talk to him, but I fear we won't stop him from taking the relic.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting we negotiate. We allow Sebastian to leave with the relic under one condition. After this, no more.
I feel that's what we agreed to in the scriptorium. I'm being taken for a fool.
You're not ominous. This may be the only way to keep your friendship intact. Let's trust him to know what's best.
Fine. If I trust him on this, I'm trusting you too. The dark arts seem harmless until it's too late. Go then. Leave with the relic. I'll not say a word more. I hope I don't regret this.
Sebastian, we're ready.
What is it? I haven't changed my mind.
Ominous has. Let's go.
What? Ominous?
I'll explain on the way. Come on.
Come on. Предложи мне приключения, да. Блять, я потерялся. Так, подожди, мы здесь забрали ролик, значит, сюда. Сейчас идем. Так, сюда.
Well, what happened back there?
Ominous and I
That
found a
was-
compromise.
Ominous simply needs a moment with you and change his mind. Is that it?
I told him we ought to give you this chance, that the relic is too important to ignore.
There has to be more to it than that. Tell me.
We agreed on what
That
was
was-
needed, Sebastian. You have my word.
Очень. Пошли. Говно.
Imperial! Leviosa!
And I just want to worry him all over again.
We've rid the world of all this grass. It no longer feels like a tomb. I've read about catacombs that underwent expansion efforts and ran into
Incendio.
problems, often cave-ins.
And then we're abandoned.
Exactly. We'll be fine, though.
Так, значит, мы сюда пришли. Прячься. Отлично. Сюда, вот так, сюда.
Depulso! Accio!
Там-то есть что? А, там
Revelio.
ящик. Подожди. Ящик.
Accio! Wingardium Leviosa!
This room is taller than it looks.
Опять я убрал. Нам надо вот эту тему.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Что надо? Опять, подожди.
Depulso! Leviosa!
Ящик.
Finding a chest in an inconspicuous loft. Brilliant. As we were leaving, Ominous wouldn't even acknowledge me. That's not like him.
He was troubled, Sebastian. Even though we agreed to it all, it's been a lot to take in.
I thought he understood. He knew we couldn't give up. All of this is too important. For Anne. When we get to Feldcroft, I'd rather Anne not know what had to be done to get this relic. She thinks like Ominous. It'd only upset her.
Вернуться к состоянию, походу, да? Нужно ушли.
Oh no, this isn't good.
Ой, блядь, там
What is it?
Smoke,
Подорки.
over there, by the hamlet.
О, блин, то есть.
Feldcroft's in trouble. They're under attack.
Let's hurry.
Жизнь деревню Копать там гоблин. Так, сейчас, на минутку. Можем?
Got him! This is almost too easy! You'll not win here.
Sebastian, be careful. Mine.
We've got them. They'll retreat. We'll make them retreat.
Братан, я пошел. Что с меня? Пиздец. Где подвесил? Сам себя зарезал.
Boy! What have you done?
Saved my sister.
With an unforgivable curse. From that damned book, no doubt. Your father would be ashamed. You've gone too far, Sebastian. Stay away from her. From all of us.
What did my uncle expect me to do? The Imperious curse saved Anne's life. That goblin was going to kill her.
You did what you had to do.
If I have to keep proving that to my uncle, I will. He cannot banish me from my own home. From my sister.
It might be best to let him calm down a while. May I speak to him? Perhaps I can help to ease the tension a bit.
You may be right. Very well. Probably best if I get away from here for a while. I'll head back to Hogwarts.
Соломоном Солом. Пойдем поговорим. Так, у нас же новый левел. Так, у нас что есть? Одеть. Хера. Несколько нахапали. Интересно. Че комнату бежать? Значит, стой. Ну, 25 можно. Выделим. Наряд. Ладно, черт. Почему? Черт. 25 прокачать тебе нормально. И на нас будет. Так. Так, таланты. скажем тебе, что второе накладывает проклятие цель. Давай сейчас. Всех победили. Так, пойдем подумаем.
What was he thinking?
Pardon me, Mr. Sallow.
What Sebastian did was inexcusable. You cannot possibly be about to defend him.
Sebastian and I have encountered Ranrock's loyalists before. That goblin would have killed Anne.
This family does not resort to using dark magic, even against our enemies. What Sebastian did cannot be undone. That you are defending Sebastian's behavior at all tells me everything I need to know. You are as guilty as he is. Sebastian is to come nowhere near Feldcroft, nowhere near Anne. Unforgivable curses are so named for a reason. If I hear that either of you continues down this path, if either of you uses dark magic, I will notify the headmaster immediately. Why, Sebastian?
Говорит директриса с портретом профессора. 93-го. А, это испытание при наборе. Так, сейчас ходим за чеком. Так, сейчас поместимся. Давай посмотрим. Ничего нет. Шляпочки. Вот, 71. Давай измерим. Так, что есть? Проключать. У нас 25, у нас 4. Такс. Первый надо послушать. Она херст. Профессор. Где у нас находится стали фотографии? Так, сюда перемещаемся. Все будут такие по третье испытания, да? Кажется, у нас скоро дело к финалу нам будет.
The Forbidden Forest? Are you trying to get the Do you...
тут?
Revelio.
Зажечь?
Incendio.
Опа. Чика. 25 на особой странице. Что такое рождение? Елка. А, у нас же зима.
Can't decide it.
Я, блядь, сюда бить. Вниз.
Revelio.
Пиши, было принято пищи, мама, оскорблять. Видео писать, сказать, придет. Если доставить.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling.
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. I'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
I doubt Scribner would stand for that.
Revelio.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Чё типа есть, а где он, блядь?
Revelio.
Читать. А вот там случай взять. Посмотреть. Есть у нас.
What do we have here? A demiguise.
Есть что листать надо.
Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle, and I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well, you'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him we're to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Так, погнали.
Do you have a moment, Professor? Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp, places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
Greetings. I mean, out of my way, children. I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
Professor Black, how are you, sir?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with bubo tuber pus makes a fine mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Something.
Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners?
Professor, a word? Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kogawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
When I witnessed what passes for magic in these halls, I simply mourn for the future of the wizarding world.
Headmaster, and he's coming this way.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not invisible, sir. I've seen them near the library. In fact, they help me with my, heavy books.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now,
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise?
I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
Ah, well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me.
I see. But sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumours of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for... I shall never understand that one.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Wait until Master sees what a wonderful job Scrope is doing.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
And now I'm telling you that you can tell me.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
But certainly I remember. It's still stronger together, no?
Master has made Scrope laugh.
Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns.
Is Master giving Scrope a test?
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight.
Ой-ой-ой. Навалить надо, у нас спорт не кончается. Понятно. Сейчас рыгат.
Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now to speak the password to the gargoyle. Hello, Hamora.
Хер. Несколько интересно.
Revelio. Lumos.
Сломать нихуя. Привет.
What are you up to now?
The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Toujours pure. I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. Revelio.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
What can I expect to find in the book?
A story. I cannot say more. You may recognize some elements of it, as I was inspired by a tale with which many wizarding children are familiar.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time? That must be the pedestal. Revelio! Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald? Can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Neve. You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem. You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me. In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
run when I could. I'd be free by now.
I'd best move while I can. Neve must be here somewhere. I need to time this just right.
Так, сейчас минутку. продолжим. Время уже пошло, да.
This is my chance. Come and leave. I need to time this just right. I see. A staircase straight ahead.
Прошел. Лестница надо браться.
Ladder. Perhaps they won't be able to find me if I go up there. They're gone, for now. I need to get out of here. Where could Neve be? Too many. I must cross this road as fast as I can. That's where I need to go, but I need to find a way past them.
Спали сразу сейчас.
Nothing this way, but more danger. There must be another way to find you. I need to turn back. There's no getting past them that way. That door closed tight. No way but forward, I suppose. Now's my chance. That's the way forward. Can this be? I think I'm invisible. They can't see me at all. I can get closer to them. This is the way forward. Finally free. Now where are you, Neve?
You have outrun death thus far, but have yet to find me. Keep searching, but this time you will be unable to hide. Wield the wand you see before you. Do not squander its extraordinary power.
I've never felt such power. Bombarda! Bombarda! Descendo! Protego! Defender! Bombarda! Descendo! Depulso! Bombarda! Protego! Bombarda! Depulso! Bombarda! Descendo! Defendo! Bombarda! Protego! Bombarda!
Defender! Defender! Bombarda! Bombarda! Descendo! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Bombarda!
Главный босс.
Bombarda! 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 Defender!
Блять. Жали в угол.
Bombarda! Bombarda! Defender! Bombarda! Bombarda! Descender! Bombarda! Bombarda! Descender! Defender!
Блять, сильно ёбан.
Bombarda! Descender! Defender!
Stone. This must be for me.
You are far from finished. Pass through the mourners ahead. Nothing.
I can't believe she's dead.
Oh, poor Neve.
God. May her memory be a treasure to us forever.
You found me, but you cannot undo what has been done. The magic of the stone can only conjure a shadow of my former self. But there is no light without shadow, as there is no shadow without light. Simply because you can eliminate darkness does not always mean that you should. Remember that as you witness my memory.
Давайте посмотрим.
Isidore, what you did for your father was remarkable, wasn't it? And Percival needn't worry about the strands of emotion or the traces that this magic leaves. I found a way to contain all of it.
You haven't stopped.
Goblin Silver.
You spoke to a goblin about this.
Don't worry, he has no idea what we're containing.
We don't know what effect any of this may have. The emotions, the dark traits.
You sound like Percival. And as it happens, I do know. It is a source of strength, of focus. Somehow it enhances my ability to wield magic.
I don't follow, Isidore.
I think we can harness it.
Power like this is not to be toyed with. In the wrong hands.
You saw what I did for my father. Oh, Nia, imagine the good we could do. Everyone is in some kind of pain.
What are you doing?
Breathe it in. Can you feel it?
Oh, Isidora. This must stop. All of it.
You've kept this power to yourselves for so long because you fear it. I choose to embrace it.
Интересно, как график так пошли это испытание.
Is it true? Has someone completed the first 3 trials?
It is, and I have.
But you are so...
Young? I know. You must be Professor Bakar.
I am.
Pleased to meet you. The pensive memory I just witnessed, was Isidore inhaling painful emotions?
She was.
I found it disturbing. But how did she gain power from it? How did she harness it?
It was disturbing. Although I wonder that you are asking about her power. I hesitate to reveal the location of my pensive to someone who, perhaps, has yet to understand the responsibility of power.
I can assure you, Professor, I do. In fact, What you don't yet know is that a dangerous goblin called Ranrock has accessed the repository at Rookwood Castle. He has learned to harness the contents of it as a source of immense power. He plans to use that power against wizardkind. We have no time to waste.
I see. Nonetheless, the knowledge you shall gain after you witness my memories is too valuable to share without further consideration. I shall require time to confer with the other keepers.
It seems we have no choice but to wait, frustrating as it is. I heard what you told Professor Bakar. Isadora was inhaling emotions to gain power?
She was. And she pulled emotions, as she did from her father, from Professor Fitzgerald, without permission.
Monstrous.
What's more, she said that she found a way to store the traces of magic she extracted in goblin silver.
The repositories?
Possibly. There's something I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier. Ranrock has been digging at locations tied to the 5 names he found in the journals of a goblin metalworker named Bragball.
5 names? The Keepers, and who else? Isadora Morganac?
Precisely. That's how he's been one step ahead of us. Gringotts, the Tower, Rookwood Castle.
If the Keepers won't tell you where the next trial is yet, I say we at least maintain a watch on Ranrock. Perhaps he'll lead us to more information.
Perhaps. I hope to hear from Lodgok soon. I haven't heard anything since I learned of the drills. Oh, and as you've probably guessed by now, your Polyjuice plan worked like a charm.
I knew it would. I may have done too good a job distracting Black. I had no idea he can't hold his fire whiskey.
Так, что у нас дальше? Сюжет приятель. Бочки приятель. Задание. А вот еще 4 здания будет сюжетный, походу, да? Готовьте к своим рабочих что-то еще. Так, еще там есть. Что нам внизу, да? Испытание открыть. Опа. Это да. Маска из тыквы. Гоблинов мы все сделали, да. Больше ничего не у нас. Довольно ловко, типа. Так, посмотрим. Попучки. Привет, задание. Семья. Себастьяну. Говорят, дают что-то за прохождение магию. Может, не знаю точно. Так, где у нас есть? Так, в Хогвартсе. Дойти куда-то сюда. Так, добежим. А что, в крипту надо опять?
I shouldn't have reacted so bitterly about your goblin friend. I apologize. I hope we can finish what we started with the triptych. Please meet me at the southern coast. We can search for the final canvas piece.
Сюжет как раз 40 часов и 30 минут. Короче, на экране побольше делать. Побудитесь. Почки мы пройдем, а вот карты, я не знаю, будет желание через карту. испытание так не носит дело. Мы испытание делаем на 100%. Все. Испытание Мерлина надо пройти. Все. 3 часа. Я уже одну ветку сделал. 3 часа еще. Я не знаю, какой максимальный левел на 30-й. Без книжности качаться было. Опять у нас на год заворесик.
My friends and I lose track of the time whenever we're at Three Broomsticks.
Что дверь долго открывается, а? Сейчас заканчивать. Поиграем.
Did you speak with my uncle?
I wish I had better news about your uncle and Anne.
Well, what did he say?
I'm afraid he wants you nowhere near Feldcroft. Nor Anne.
I had to stop that goblin from killing my sister. He had no right to banish me from my own twin. If he thinks banishing me means I'm going to give up on Anne, he's sorely mistaken.
He also said he cannot excuse the use of dark magic in any form, and that if he hears of either of us using it, he'll go straight to Professor Black.
Huh. That relic, dark magic or not, is the key to saving Anne. To reverse that curse. I will not lose Anne for good. I should send the crest to Anne. She'll know that we need to meet.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Nothing, just a thought. Now I'm more determined than ever to learn what power that relic has.
What did you mean you'd send Anne a crest so that she'd know to meet you?
We just lost our parents, and we were packing up to go and live with Solomon. We couldn't take everything. She was carefully organising her prized possessions, a box of artefacts she'd collected to do with our family. Jewellery, cards, old photographs. She got to her favourite, a handmade crest, and without a second thought she handed it to me. This will keep you safe, she said. It holds no enchantment, but I've kept it with me since. That's how I can reach Anne. I'll get the crest to her with plans to meet.
Be careful, Sebastian. Your uncle could intercept it. We'll be expelled.
Even if Ominous is upset with us, he has no love lost for his family. He'd use their connections to the headmaster if we needed his help.
I shall wait to hear from you then.
Thank you. I very much appreciate you standing by me through all of this. I'll send you an hour when I have news.
Подожди, что пропускаю сюжет, нам будет заклинание на какое-то подожди. Учитель профессора Ховин использует чары бомбарда. Так, вот. Чтобы открыть бомбарда, надо раздобыть Никакого, используя платье. Раздобыть большую пурпурную жабу. Не знаю. Пока оставим, я думаю. Тогда какие-нибудь посмотрим. Основа для шантажа. Ну, это сделал. Давайте посмотрим. Так. Карта. Конечно, конечно. Давай сюда в хвост перенесемся. Так. Сюда давай переедем. Ничего не здесь. Да, нам сюда надо. Да? Сюда. Так, сейчас который номер кто-то мне звонит. Она покажем. Посмотрел, вид нормально. Конечно, это очень нифига. Зачем ждать нас здесь?
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Otto Dibble, and Mr. and Mrs. Rabe.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Rabe, but his wife, Daisy, is often in Hogsmeade, as is Agabus Filbert. And Otto Dibble, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
дальше. Здесь. Немножко красотки вышло. Блин, вообще пиздец.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Oh, Isco, what have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Isco.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Isco's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Isco, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Isco's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Rabe.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Погнали дальше.
Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all along.
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed.
I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping, and I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends. Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
You may have shared Mr. Bickle's fate if you had spoken out against Harlow as he requested.
Unfortunately, I suspect you're right.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprised Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core, still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Now, Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty.
Those that go down.
It's not like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there. Natty must be around here somewhere. Revelio! Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken. Revelio.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio.
Там убежище банды. Я план был. Тебя похитили.
The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. Accio! A hidden door. Revelio! Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. I'd better be sure I'm not seen.
Сейчас на этом мы остановимся. Сейчас я рейдик сделаю туда. Текст. Я победителей. Спасибо за просмотр, подписывайтесь на канал.